I'm gonna wait till the 2-minute mark. We got like 15 minutes for that. Buenos dias, ya tu sabes. Wake up, wake up. You already know I'm the Cosmic in the house. Today is Fortification Friday. And if you've been here before, you know why we call it Fortification Friday. You know what's happening. This weekend's coming up. A lot of us, and I'm saying weekend just so you can understand what I'm saying. Weekend is the end of week, right? Thank you for the like. Hey, Sinikiwai Taise. Hola, hi. If that's how you say your name. Thank you for coming in. So today's Fortification Friday. You already know I got a little something for you guys on things that you can utilize to help you fortify your weekend away from, and this is my purpose. My purpose is my weekends were all about drinking, having fun, just losing myself in the world. So I refortified that, changed that, the way I do things. And hello, hi. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Come on in, love you so natural. You already know when we listen twice and speak once. May wisdom fulfill you and, well, I said that backwards. May knowledge fulfill you and may wisdom guide you. I hope that everybody's doing well. Today's Fortification Friday. So I got little tidbits of little things that I do. Some of them I don't, but just to be self-aware, there are things that used to happen to me on Fridays, and this is why I make this. I change the names of my days, right? So Friday comes, everybody's getting ready for Friday, right? Everybody's getting, I say here in America, right? America, people are programmed to believe that when Friday comes, it's party time, right? It's to go out, it's to, it's okay to be with family, such, but everybody loses themselves. When Monday comes, so you sleep all day on Sunday, or you watch basketball or football, and it's like a program. It's like you don't even have these 2 little days that they supposedly give to you as a slave, right? Or an employee, self to regenerate, to refortify, to reinvigorate, to reinvent. You don't even have that, right? So you're so exhausted off of working 8 hours, 10 hour, 12-hour days that you are ready to party hard when Friday comes through. So this is why I call it Fortification Friday. You already know, love your soul, not your role. So this way, not only are you able to rebuild, not only are you able to reinvigorate yourself for the things that you would like to build, not outside of you, not material. That's not what I'm talking about. We don't talk about materialism here. We talk about internally. So internally, you can fortify your soul. You can your spirit by doing certain things, and reading the Bible is not one of them. Going to church on Sunday after you were drinking and drugging on Friday and Saturday ain't gonna love your soul natural. You burn me. Wake up, wake up. That's just a ceremony. That's just a relinquishing of your weakness on Sunday. You just relinquish your weakness continuously, and then the following weekend we do it again, right? It's detrimental to a lot of us, but they make money off of it, and you know who I'm talking about. Corporations make millions of dollars on the weekends. And another thing that's fascinating as well is that alcohol, al-ghul, which is a spirit, why they call them spirits, you can look that portion up of the metaphysical aspects of alcohol, is that you consume alcohol, you lose inhibition, you become a spirit that's entangled within that liquor, within that elixir, within that spirit. Most people get in trouble. People, they fight. You lose your inhibition. So now not only are they making money off of you trying to change the way you're looking at life because you're so stressed out, now they're making money off putting you in jail. All kind of stuff happens in the span of 2 days if you're not loving your soul and not your role. You already know. Wake up, wake up. Omni Cosmic in the house. And the reason I'm doing this, again, I was in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. Fridays I get up, today, right? Wait for the whole day, and I'm just itching for the day, planning, or you probably plan on the week, the football game, whether American or world football, You know, they occupy your mind with all these little micro occupations and distractions that you can no longer interact with yourself because you're interacting with these spirits. You're killing your blood cells, your brain cells little by little, but because, you know, they make liquor legal. So they, you know, you can't drive drunk, but you go to the bar, you get drunk. A lot of people out here, especially in Florida, well, man, I know, on the weekends, be careful, because there's a lot of people out here that drink on the weekends heavily. Like, I'm talking about bottles and bottles. Thank you for the like, I appreciate it. Bottles and drugging. I have, listen, I'll tell you a quick story, okay? Just to let you know. When I moved to Florida, I partied big time. I partied like there was no tomorrow, because in my programmed mind, Florida for me was spring vacation. It was always hot. You know, I'm from up north. It was cold most of the half of the season, you know, so on and so forth. Half of the year, whatever. I came down here, oh man, I partied, worked and partied. My weekends are a blur as far as here, right? So for that not to happen, for you to stay intact, for me to stay intact, everything I'm saying to you, I'm saying to myself, right? I need this therapy. So this is why I'm doing it, because this is not only just for me, it's for you. It's not only for you, but, you know, mainly it's for me. I write this stuff down and I talk about it. I utilize it. I make it part of my daily life, because I am truly not, the whole goal of Love Your Soul Natural is to not come back. Wake up to this place. There are other things that we can learn, that we will learn, that will show us that that's possible. Just like in the Bible, they show you Jesus Christ was resurrected. He went to hell, right? It came back. This is hell, but anyway, that's another story. So Love Your Soul Natural, you already know, Fortification Friday. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm gonna do split screen. The microphone was working yesterday. Normally when I do split screen, the microphone mutes. A lot of folks were like, hey, I can't hear you. So we're gonna do that today. Make your comments if you like. Read the description. There's just some little tidbits in there to assist, you know, not me, but possibly, you know, it might help you structure, you know, the awareness of your Friday, right? Like where your mind is at. Like when you're at work right now, what are you thinking about? Are those your thoughts? Why are you thinking, you know, some people don't go out on the weekends. You know, I get that, you know what I'm saying? Like weekends, but a lot of us do. A lot of us can wait for the weekend, who work for corporate America, wait for the weekend to basically get drunk. That's it. So your whole check, not your whole check, like you pay your bills, I suppose. And you know, the more you drink alcohol, the more the algal parasite becomes, the more the sugar parasite becomes more pertinent in your body, and the less you'll be able to control it. And I'm telling you this because I know, I've been through it. You get that little wet tingle behind your tongue right here, over here. You get this yearning to have alcohol. You are now a functioning alcoholic, and you don't know it. As you go, right? The more you drink on the weekends, the more you're gonna want to drink on the weekends, and then that's gonna turn into the weekday. I know. Some of us have the strength not to do so. Some of us do not. But alcohol is an extremely potent elixir for any. You can use alcohol to manipulate people, which is what they do. You'll think you're having a good time. Oh man, I'm drinking, I'm chilling, yeah, the fight, yeah, I'm over. Then once you're done throughout the years, and it's a slow killer. You know, your kidneys start messing up, your memory, your family life, because alcohol inhibits you from being in control of your soul. It inhibits you. It you know, people do crazy stuff, right? People drive, they get in their car and they drive drunk. People, you know, I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? I get it. There's been many times, you know, when I used to drink back in the days, you know, and even just recently when I was homeless, I was drinking, man, because I was going through a lot, you know, and I didn't know how to, even though I did know, I did have the tools, I just didn't utilize it because I overwhelmed myself with the attitude that I lost. You know, I lost what I was gaining, what I was working for. And to realize that I let that happen was a, you know, it was a banger on my heart and my mind. But, you know, I got through it. You know, a lot of people here on this channel were with me when I was living in my car and I was drinking and talking drunk. And I wasn't driving, you know, I was living in my car. I was sleeping in the back. On the weekend, you know, so I'm going to read some stuff. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it can be something that you can suggest to someone. There are all kinds of things that can help folks fortify their Friday so they have a great end of week, right? We don't want to call it a weekend because words have power. Words have power. Words have power. Words have power, right? So utilizing these types of words and then knowing the context behind the idea of a weekend. The idea of a weekend is to party for most Americans. Go out to the bar, to the club, to whatever, strip club, whatever, get drunk, you know, do whatever. And then go to work on hurting, sleeping all day, like you lose your soul, you lose your timeline, you lose your connection with nature, you lose your connection with yourself, most importantly. And then you got to regain that. And then not only that, you begin to have, listen to this. And I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a sociologist. I'm just a person who understands this. Then you begin to have these personalities that build in your mind that require this type of behavior. Yes. Split personalities, all that craziness, and I'm not gonna say craziness because that's not a good term for that, but all of that consumption, you know, that's just like church. You go to church, you consume all this external stuff, but you don't know how to really use it. You don't know how to utilize it because it takes you over externally. And then so you begin to believe that this is actually true because you have no study. You have just people telling you, hey, this is it. Like me. Don't listen to me. Do not listen to me. Be a listener. Listen to yourself. Utilize the information that I'm giving you to cross-reference, you know, your situation, how you think. Why do you think throughout the whole week you got commercials, you know, leading you into a drunkenness, debauchery? That's what they call it in the Bible. And most of us think that that's okay. They tell you that it's okay. They show you on television with cartoons, silly scripts on commercials that have nothing to do with alcohol, but has life looking beautiful. If you drink a Corona, and you know, I don't want to use that as a point. So if you drink a beer, life is beautiful. Look at me, I'm in the beach. They show you these false, fantastical situations that are not true. And in real life, you end up with the shitty end of the stick in terms of believing something that's really not true. Al Ghul, look up Al Ghul. Al Ghul is a spirit. So you know Batman? Batman has an arch enemy. His name is Al Ghul. Al Ghul is I think it's a Middle Eastern term or some kind of language out there that means spirit. And then when you go to the liquor store, I have spirits. Wake up. You already know, love your soul, not your world. Fortify your soul for your end of week, so this way it won't be stolen from you. And that's not temporary. That's a situation that will arise every end of week. So I'm going to split my screen now, and I may not see your comments. Maybe I might. Oops, I didn't do it right. Come on, screen splitter. All right, so the microphone is on. That's great, because normally the microphone will be on pause. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. Love your soul, not your role. You already know. Omni Cosmic in the house. Wake up. This sticker. Okay, here we go. So fortifying our souls, setting intentions for the weekend. That's the title. So it says that as we head into the weekend, it is time to move beyond the routine and focus on what truly sustains us, which is your soul, which is what we're talking about here, right? Join me today as we explore why it is essential to intentionally fortify our souls. This has got to be intentional. You know, in the Bible, it tells you, there's a section of the Bible, I forgot what section it is because I haven't read it in a while, where you put on the armor of Jesus Christ, right? Right? That's you. That's your armor. They're talking about you. When they talk about Jesus Christ, they're not talking about some guy in the sky, some guy, you know, that floats and walks on water. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about each and every single human being. The cross is the man, the head, the arm, and the legs put together. That's the symbol of man. But anyway, This weekend, I encourage you to take a moment to nourish your inner self, whether through reflection, stillness, or meaningful connection. Let's make space to recharge our spirits so we can show up fully in every area of our lives. So people who have children, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not saying that all people have children. People who have families and just say large amounts of responsibility. Some of them take the weekend to build themselves so that they could be more fortified, more in tune with their responsibilities. Most of us just don't want the responsibilities, so we drink it away. This is what they say it's okay for you to do. The importance of spiritual maintenance over the weekend. Practices to help you center your mind. How focusing your soul's health supports your physical wellness. That's true. I'll go back and say when I had cancer, I'm an athlete. When I was a kid, I don't do sports as much as I used to. But, I'm inclined to do sports. Like when I feel sick, I do sports. Love your soul, not your road. Come on in. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You already know where we listen twice and speak once. So that helped me with the cancer, because what I did was when I even though I was in pain, I kept exercise. I kept my body moving. I wasn't sedentary. I was moving my lymphatic system. I was, trying my best to survive that. So that experience in my life being, an athlete helped me. So to fortify your soul is to create a sanctuary within yourself that remains steady regardless of external noise. External noise, one of the most disruptive weapons that there can be. External noise, things that are outside of you, things that you're taught to worry about. I'll give you a for instance. I'm gonna tell you real quick. I used to stay up real late on the weekends, getting drunk, right? And I forgot what I was gonna say. I was all over the place spiritually, internally. So I would subject myself to going out to other places, like to church. Oh, let me go to church. But I'm not that kind of person. I'm more internal, right? So when I was losing my internal self, I was losing balance on everything, me, myself, my mind, my house, my situation. And those things came to a halt because I was like, nah, this is not happening. Something's going down, right? So I got to figure it out. So I did. So your sanctuary is within yourself, right? You got to remain steady. So steady is not an easy thing to do, when life is always in motion, right? It's not easy, but it can be done because I've been doing it. So that's what Fortification Fight is about. Steadying yourself for the end of week. So you can battle the external noises, like going to the soccer game, the football game, the club, spending most of your money, then working really hard to do it again the following weekend. Make that make sense. So you designed to nourish your spirit and restore your inner balance. And so basically alcohol, what does it do? It imbalances you. You're out of balance when you do alcohol and consume drugs, right? You're not in control of your soul. You're not, I like to use this phrase that there is no one more in control of me than me. But if you are not if your inner self is disrupted, is confused, is broken apart by outside information, by things that make you do what you're conditioned to do, that's basically destroying your soul. Your chances of coming back are like 100%. And that's the whole thing. I'm not trying to come back to this place. The 5-minute grounding. I did this the other day and I got bit by a bug, so be careful, right? Hugging trees, it's important. Taking off your shoes on real grass reconnects you. I was doing this. I do this periodically, right? When I go to the lake. But I noticed that as soon as you touch something material that was man-made, after you do that, you get shocked because you just recharged yourself. Try it. Hug a tree, stay there, take off your shoes, take off your socks, take off the rubber, put your feet to the ground. It's called grounding. Ground yourself. You don't have to hug the whole tree, just touch the tree and listen. 5 minutes, not even. I know that for most of us who are always in motion in our minds and stuff like that, 5 minutes is a long time. So try a minute, 30 seconds, and you'll see what you feel. So just focus on sensation of your breathing. Most of us don't do that. Most of us don't meditate on our breathing. Just take it for granted. Visualize your stress draining into the ground and being replaced by stability. So there's a breathing technique that I use where I tie my breathing to the middle earth and I just dump everything through that tube. I call it the tube of release. My bills, my car note, people, and I wring them out. And I just it's like a cannon, and I come out. I got a batter. He bats him out of the atmosphere, and I tell you, this works because I am no longer thinking about that for a minute, for a good minute. None of those things that I was thinking about that I threw through that tube, and it's a meditation practice. So try to visualize that. Morning declarations, I do that all the time. Before looking at any screens, speak one powerful truth about you, who you are allowed. So before you start, looking at screens and having them tell you who you are, what you want to be, what you want to drink, where you want to go, what you want to wear, sit back. Again, at the beginning, it's a lot, right? At the beginning, it's like 5 minutes is a lot for someone who's always on the go. Got to go to work. Got to take the kids here, right? Stress. So if you can sit for a minute, just plant your feet on the rug, on the floor, sit up. Look around, right? What day is it? Pinch yourself. Are you alive? Right? And appreciate that moment. This anchors your identity in your own voice rather than an expectation of others, just like I said. The gratitude breath. Close your eyes for 60 seconds. With every inhale, name one specific thing you are grateful for. And it could be one word: love, money, health, family. Try it. It helps. It releases a whole bunch of stress. You don't need alcohol after that. It helps. Release one specific tension you are holding in your body. And these things can, so when you have signals in your body that you have pain, right? And I did this because when I had cancer, this is what I would do. I would send signals from my brain to my spinal cord to specific parts of my body that were in pain. And with medications and things of that nature, eventually the medications, I weaned myself off of it. There was relief of pain. Yes, absolutely. 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 And with consistency, it can be something that you can do without even, like you breathe. You send signals to your body like you breathe. The more you practice, the more you apply it, the more it becomes your reality. And that's what you wanted to do. That's what my intention is. Mental and spiritual clearing, digital sunset. Check this out. I do this a lot. I tend to either read a book or maybe I'll just sit in the middle of the living room, crisscross applesauce. Sometimes I lay down with my palms up. Sometimes I just sit there like this. It depends. But I want flow. I want direct flow. I want a straight spinal cord, so laying down, sitting up, because you want that energy to be, as above, so below. So as within your brain, as so within your heart, and as within your belly or your stomach or your whatever they call it, your flora, which is the Holy Trinity. That's the Holy Trinity right here. Okay. Dedicate 1 hour before sleep to complete silence. No music, no phone, no reading. Look, no reading. So that's true. So sometimes you don't want to be reading because now you got other stuff in your mind, right? Which can turn into messages, which can turn into dreams, which could be misleading, which could be some kind of reality that you aren't, because if you're unaware with all these symbols and all these lights and all this information going in that's translated to your subconscious, it becomes your reality. Just sit with your thoughts or do light stretching to let the day dissolve. Light stretching, touch your toes, you stretch out your arms like this. I like to do some of the stretching that I learned online. I forgot the name of the actual stretching. But it's kind of like yoga, but it's not. Tai Chi. No, it's not Tai Chi. Qigong. Qigong helps me. Look that up if you can find it. Nature immersion. Spend 5 minutes simply watching the sky, a tree, or flowing water. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. That sounds good to me. Adopting this rhythm can instantly lower your internal pressure. So the changing of the daylight savings time, that's pressure. It's changing your rhythm with nature, which is against what our lives should really be. It's the enemy of the systems are the enemy of the nature of your life. Journaling. I do journaling, but I use a daily journal. I use a daily planner. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, which I haven't been able to because I haven't been able to sleep, because a lot of stuff is going on, like, that are really activating, my endocrine system, all my systems. So that's why I haven't been able to sleep. But write down one thing that is weighing on your soul, something that's heavy, and one thing that gives you perspective, which is the light, right? You got yin, yang, light, dark, good, bad, bad, good. Tearing up the heavy paper can be a powerful physical release. So you write it down, you rip it up, you throw it away. These things work. I use these things to help me daily. On the weekend, you have time to regenerate, to refocus, to reinstall the you that's really you, not the you that serves everything else. Mindful eating. This is a good one. I like this one. Choose one meal today to eat in total silence. So going lunch with all the noises around, people are, you're talking on the phone, you're working while you're eating. You're not. So when you're eating, the nutrition, that's a science. If you're busy doing other stuff and eating, guess what? That nutrition is gonna flow outside of you as soon as you consume it. You're not even gonna get the nutrition because you're already expending it. Make sense? Focus entirely on the textures and flavors of your food, right? Beef stroganoff, whatever you're eating, taste it. What's the ingredients? If you still have your taste buds after they did all that crazy stuff to us. I don't have mine. Mine are gone completely. But it's a good thing to taste, what you're consuming, the feeling that you get. If you're eating something sour, something spicy, and that those small mini actions will fulfill your life. It's a great thing. It's like, wow, man, I could taste this. Wow, man, I could, that small little gratitude of the things that you're able to do should spark like a dopamine level in your. Love your soul, not your role. You already know. Wake up. Omnicosmic in the house. Thank you for coming in. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And the textures and flavors of your food. Treat this as an act of honoring the vessel that carries your soul. Curated stillness. Listen to a single piece of music that moves you to tears or fills you with peace. Do nothing else but listen, allowing the melody to clean your emotional palette. That's a good thing. I used to take Saturdays. I love music. Of course, we all do. But there's an esoteric meaning behind that word as well. Because remember, music, 2 words. I don't know if you guys were here yesterday, but if you weren't, but any 2 words that put them together to mean one word is magic. Okay? Any 2 words that put together to make one word to have a different definition is magic. That's magic. That's magic in the making, using text. Acts of microservice, these little micro things that you don't notice because you're so outside of yourself. Right, little microservices, micro talking to you, little small little things that you don't notice because you're out. We're too busy being out here, and not in here. So send a genuine, unsolicited text message to someone just to tell them why you appreciate their presence. Isn't that nice that someone would receive a text message from you out of the blue and say, hey man, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Fortification Friday. Take care of yourself. That's a beautiful thing. And it makes you feel good too. Extending love toward outward is one of the fastest ways to fortify your own inner life. Bingo. There you go. Okay, so I'm out of here. I got things to do. Thank you for coming in. Let's speak once. I was able, let me see, what's this? Why is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. There's a, okay, it just finished. So these things can help you fortify your soul, is to guide your spirit, to learn every day, to have an experience that gives you a life journey. A life worth living is an experience. An experience worth having is a life worth living. Is that how it goes? I don't know. I think I just made that up. But if you can remember it through the end of week, then life would be worth you fortifying your soul on Friday, so that you can take in all of the good things that you have done for yourself, for others, especially for yourself. In order to serve others, you have to serve yourself in the right way, in the way that you see fit. That will be conducive and productive to everyone. So when you do these things, if you try them, or if you have your own method, please share it if you would like to. That would be great. In the descriptions, or you can, I think there's a chat in YouTube now where you can chat. If you guys want to send me a chat, that's cool. I don't mind responding. Thank you so much for coming and joining in today. Again, we're gonna finish the Bible. We just got to find a way I have to find a way to get that done, so that we can share like we used to in the mornings, and we would read the so-called scripture. I hope, and I will keep you in mind this end of week, so that you can fortify your soul, reinvent, reconfigure, reinstall your true self. So may knowledge fulfill you, and may wisdom guide you. You already know. Wake up, wake up. Love your soul, not your road. See you on the next one.